All right, welcome to the Eric J. the Great podcast show. We got a special guest on the show today, music artist Vibe Like Ty. How you doing?
Doing good, man.
Hey, for anybody out there that haven't heard music, we're gonna play one of our songs, and then after that, we'll get into the interview. Hey, yeah, I like that right there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, kind of. I like nice vibe music. That's kind of remind me of what you call it, Days Low.
Yeah, man, I get that all the time. No cap. All the time.
I ain't listened to her in a while, but yeah, I remember when she first came out.
Facts. Yeah.
But yeah, so first off, just tell the people where you from and how old are you?
I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. I'm 21 years old.
Okay. And what's the first thing that come to your mind when you hear your hometown?
Definitely Bryson Tiller and Jack Harlow for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
For anybody that never been in Louisville, just describe what kind of city it is. You know how it was here growing up when you was younger.
Louisville's definitely I would say a tight knit type of community. Especially when it comes to music. Like I feel like music kind of just brought everybody together, especially when we saw Bryson blow up and then we saw Jack blow up. It was like, dang, like we can really do this, coming from this city, really do his music and make it happen. So I feel like once all that stuff happened, it kind of just made everybody closer as a music community. And I feel like that's never gonna change from now on.
Okay. So what was some of the struggles you went through growing up? Did you just everyday kid growing up here? Did you have two parent household, any siblings, things like that?
Yeah, I had a two parent household. I didn't for a while. My mama was a single mother until I was probably about like 10. Uh, so once it became a two-parent household, I felt a lot better, just about my mama in general, because I felt like she had to work really hard to raise like three kids on her own. So once it became a two-parent household, a lot of things became less stressful for just the whole house in general. Um, but really, I really didn't have no adversities like in the household. I would say more so outside of the household, just me growing up trying to find myself and uh, find my sexuality, things like that. Those played a part in me growing up as a kid.
Okay. Are you the oldest?
I'm the middle child.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what type of activities you was into as a kid? Did you play any sports or anything like that?
I started playing basketball when I was 5, and I didn't stop playing until uh my last year of high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as far as your family and close friends, did you have anybody involved around you in the music business, or were you the first person to go down that route?
No, I was the first person to go down the route. My parents was kind of like iffy at first because I always used to like do dance, so everybody thought I was just gonna dance my whole life. But I was like, nah, I don't want to keep doing that. I think I want to do music. But everybody was supportive about it though.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what would you say is the moment that led you to doing music?
I say when I was in middle school, because when I started middle school, it was a performing arts school, so everybody in there did something. But when I went in there, I went in there to do dance. But there was singers, there's people in bands. So after school, you would just be able to create and really get to see what these kids have, like what their potential is, what they like to do. So we would be after school and I'll be hanging out with a whole bunch of people from band and choir, and they'd be rapping, making beats, stuff like that. So it kind of just intrigued me and kind of, you know, it made me feel like maybe I could try this and I might be good at it too, or just something for fun for real when it first started out.
Okay. So, who was some of your favorite artists growing up? Who you like listening to?
Uh Young Money was definitely like everybody on Young Money was my inspiration growing up, like Wayne, Drake, and Nicki. Those are probably my top three. I would say most influential for me at the time when I was in middle school.
Okay. So, where did you get your artist name from?
To be honest, it was really just at first it was just my Instagram name, but then I was like, I might as well just make it my artist name at
No.
this point because I really didn't even feel like having two different names. I was like, everybody was already calling me this name from Instagram, so I was like, why not just keep that and use that for the artist name? And it matched because the type of music I do is just more of like a smooth type of vibe. So I was like, I might as well just keep that then.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, take me back to the time when you went to a recording studio for the first time. Just kind of describe that experience. Was it kind of rough for you to catch on at first, or was it was you just a natural? It was easy for you to catch on.
I would say I was definitely nervous. My first time in the studio was actually for a feature for somebody, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll do it." So I went up there with my dad, and I was nervous just because I've never heard myself through a professional microphone like that before. So I was like, maybe I sound good, but I might not sound good once I get in there and actually hear my voice. I was just thinking like that, but once I got in there and I started trying different things, and the engineer was cool and he was talking me through the things, so it was a comfortable environment for me. And once I felt the environment, I got comfortable as well. So it was shaky at first, but then once I kept getting back in the booth, it just got easier.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, as far as your process, would you say if you more of a freestyler, a writer, or is it like a mixture of both?
um when it trying to think, nah, I'm definitely a writer. I freestyle sometimes, but they don't be as good as it is when I'm writing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when would you say you had the confidence, or what moment would you say you had the confidence to pursue music?
I would say when I was a sophomore in high school, I had dropped this little freestyle and posted on Instagram. And like the next day, everybody at school was coming up to me like, at freestyle was hard, all this, all that. And people was sharing it. The whole school was knowing. And, with everybody coming up to me and saying I was good stuff about it, it just made me feel like, okay, maybe I do have the potential to keep doing this and turn the freestyles into songs and actually start dropping some stuff and making it a actual career.
No, absolutely. So you currently independent right now. Would you sign to a label if it made sense?
If it makes sense, yeah. Cause I've had offers come to me before, but they was like 360 deals and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm to the point now, like I've been in the game for a while, so I've just been able to kind of learn the music business. And I feel like independent is a good route until a deal, until there's a deal that can come by that y'all can negotiate on that is a win for them and a win for you as well. So
Okay. So as far as your process right now, how often you be going to the studio?
I try to go at least once a week. Sometimes like now that my schedule is really starting to free up, it's probably gonna be 2 to 3 times a week. Uh, I just like to go in there and just even if I don't make a full song, like I just need to make sure that I'm in there writing, getting my voice warm. Like it's just like a kind of like a routine now at this point.
Okay. So take me back to the time when you dropped your music to the public for the first time. Just kind of describe how the city was embracing you when people was able to hear your music for the first time.
Yeah, when I dropped my first single, it was weird because I was like, dang, like, and at that time, that was like when I was just on SoundCloud, but it was still like a big moment for me because I was like, this is my first. official song, like in the studio, no feature, like just me saying what I need to say, whatever. Like, it was definitely crazy though, cause like the support was crazy, people at school was crazy. Like, it was just a lot of positive reinforcement for me. Like you can keep doing this, even though I knew at the time, like, okay, this is cool, but I know I can do better. But it was still like it was still a good start for me though.
Okay.
Yeah.
So have you done any shows yet?
I have. I've done a couple shows this year. Well, actually, not. I haven't done a lot of shows this year. I did a lot last year, but I got a lot of shows lined up already for this year. So it's gonna be crazy.
Okay. What would you say is the biggest one you've done so far?
I'd say the biggest one I've done so far is I opened for this girl, this R&B artist from here. Her name's Mars. She had a show last year here in Louisville, and the vibes was crazy, and the audience was crazy. So that was probably my biggest show so far. Yeah.
Okay. So I know earlier you was talking about the music scene in Louisville. So just kind of describe the music scene in Louisville right now, as far as from the major artists that blew up from here, and then the local artists. Do a lot of local artists collab here? You don't had big artists blew up from here, as far as Bryson, Jack, and recently ESTG. So
I think the music scene in Louisville is starting to understand that like if we just come together, there's only good stuff can happen with that. Like us being separated and hating on each other and stuff will do nobody no justice. But if we start coming together, collaborating, doing shows together, things like that, like the more this artist is bringing their audience, this artist is bringing their audience. Like everybody's coming together and just showcasing talent for the city to see. It does nothing but just put a spotlight on us in the long run.
absolutely. So have you collab with any local artists here?
Yeah, I have. I've collabed with Mars. I've collabed with I would say about 2 or 3 different artists. Because a lot of artists here do like strictly rap, and I don't really do rap like that for real. So I just try to focus on like the R&B scene and like the singers and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, so
Yeah,
yeah, it's kind of cool that you got your own lane.
yeah.
So as far as artists, do you got anybody on your hit list that you want to work with in the future that you've been thinking about getting in the studio with?
I think right now, like the next artist that's big that I feel like could be attainable is definitely like Tusi. Um, I've been following him since before he blew up. Just seeing his progress from when he started to now was like, I gotta get in the studio with him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I tell a lot of artists, like, you go to because he's Tusi stay in Atlanta. Like, you go to Atlanta, Rick, and just move around there for a couple of days, it's bound to be beneficial, you know what I'm saying?
right.
Everybody's down there, you know.
Yeah,
But what would you say is your most successful project right now?
I would say my most successful project is probably the first project I ever dropped. Uh, it's called Birth of a Bull. It was a little EP, had like 6, 7 songs on it. But there was one song on there, it's called Somebody, that kind of just blew the whole EP up. So everybody was loving it. Cause it was like a kind of like an experimental song, like it's something that I ain't never done before. And I was like, let me just throw it on the EP and see what it do. And everybody loved it. So it just kind of ran the numbers up.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So for all your followers out there, what are some things you like doing in your spare time when you're not doing music?
Um, I definitely like to just chill with my friends and stuff. I like to play games like 2K, Madden. I like to go to the range sometimes. And I definitely like to try new stuff, like trying new food and stuff, like food I ain't never had before, or maybe go to an event that I ain't never been to before, like trying different cultures and stuff. Like that's definitely something I like to do.
Okay. So, what are your short and long term goals? What do you want to accomplish?
Short term goal, I'll say short term would probably be being able to perform in like 3 major cities. That'd probably be the short term goal. And then the long term goal is to have like a cross country tour. That'd be the long term goal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, as far as 2023, just list some things you got coming up for the rest of the year, whether that be projects, features, or anything like that.
So coming up for the year, for real, I can start with this Sunday. Nike's coming down to Louisville to have an Air Max Day. It's gonna be like events and games and stuff like that at Hibbett Sports and City Gear, but they want me to perform at both of those stores, so that's kind of a big deal for me. And then Derby, I'll be opening for some big artists. Can't really say them right now, but I'll be opening for some big artists during Derby weekend. Got a, about 3 singles already lined up to drop this year. Uh, going out of town, shooting videos. Gonna be doing some real crazy stuff in 2023. So
Right. Absolutely.
yeah,
How do you want people to perceive you?
I would say to perceive me as an artist, not just a rapper. I know like there's a lot of people who rap, especially in Louisville. But I try not to put myself in that box because when you're an artist, you can do whatever. You can do any type of music. You can fit in any lane. You can adjust. Like I'm just that type of person where I don't like to be caged in. I like to have the freedom to do what I want.
Oh, yeah. I can feel that.
Yeah.
So give me your Mount Rushmore. Give me your top 5 most influential people to you. It could be, family, artists or actor, anybody.
Top 5. Okay, so number 1 got to be my mama for sure. Number 2, I would say it would have to be I'd say it had to be probably Drake. Number 3, I would say it had to be one of my aunties because she's from a small town just like me, and she grew up to be a model. She's in California right now. She's been in music videos for Bryson and Kendrick and a whole lot of other artists. She's doing big stuff. Um, Mars, she's an R&B artist from the city, but she's influential because she's a Black gay woman just like me and did the same thing, came from the same city and blew up. So definitely her. And I say number 5 would have to be my older sister. She came from the same household. She had a set goal, a set dream, and she followed that dream. And she's in California too, doing her thing. So
Oh, okay. What do your sister do?
she was doing modeling, but her main goal was really to go to law school and get her law degree. So that's what she's over there doing right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so closing remarks, anything else you want to let the people know that you got going on, and just let people know how to keep up with you on social media and things like that.
Yeah. Y'all can all follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, at Vibe Like Ty. So VIBE.like.Ty. Got a single coming up soon, thinking like April, late April. So just be on the lookout for that. We're gonna have some shows coming up, some videos coming up. So just be ready.
Absolutely. For anybody, well, I ain't gonna just say Louisville, but anybody that follows me, tap in with Vibe Like Ty. I listened to music a couple days ago before we did this. So I like real like upbeat music. It makes me happy 'cause a lot of music makes you real moody, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's why I was like, I have to as I got older, I have to like have a balance because if I listen to like Lil Durk or somebody all day, I'll be feel like I'm about to fight somebody or something, you know. So,
right,
like, no, I gotta have a balance.
right. Thanks.
Yeah, God, that's why I was doing the week most of the time. I don't really listen to that until the weekend because I would listen to R&B or something during the week just to get
Yeah,
back, you know.
thanks.
Well, yeah, man. Anybody that's in the Louisville area, support Vibe Like Top, man. All the artists on interview from here. I don't know if you know some of the artists that I interviewed here, as far as like Game Type, Black Steve,
Yeah,
86 Not, uh,
yeah,
um, a couple more artists, but um, I would say you got the most unique style because everybody else raps, so I ain't
right.
your music sound different than all theirs. So you have to normalize supporting the people that we can physically touch. I harp on that every time I do episodes because we get into a habit of and there's nothing wrong with it, but we just have to balance it out. We get in the habit of supporting people that has billion-dollar machines behind them, like the people we see on Instagram, the Drakes, the little babies, and everything like that. And then you can have a person that's just as talented as them or make good music and people won't support them or they'll wait till it's too late, and then once they blow up and then they'll feel some type of way when you don't really acknowledge them like that, you know what I'm saying? So it's good that you support people while you can physically touch them because you ain't gonna never see Drake walk through Walmart or Kroger, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna never be able to touch him. So
Nah,
but absolutely, everybody. This concludes another episode of Eric J. the Great Podcast. I appreciate you coming on the show. I need everybody to tap in with Vab Like Tower on all streaming platforms. Streaming music. Go follow her on Instagram. Subscribe to her YouTube channel. Also, be on the lookout. I got about 6 big interviews coming up real soon. I got a big interview coming up with PBE Pluto. It's one of the biggest artists in Atlanta right now. Uh, he's got a singer that's going crazy across the country called 50 Ball. He's been touring across the country. Be on the lookout for NPR Richie Rich. He's touring across the country right now. That interview dropping. Free Ray Ricky Ross. And Youngin MH, that's my guy. He's one of the biggest artists in New York right now. He's on the verge of getting signed by a major right now. So be on the lookout for those interviews. And I got a couple more. I can't name them all, but I appreciate everybody supporting the podcast. And anytime you want to come on the show, just let me know. You can hit me up anytime. And I'll also do real life stuff. It just have to be an interview. I talk about police brutality, relationships, child support. Should you kick your kid out of 18 years old? Anything that I know a person gonna come across at some point in their life. So that was the main reason I started a podcast, just so I know like mental health is real absent among minorities. So I feel like it's good for people that look alike to have conversations amongst each other or people that don't look alike, just so you can know that people go through similar things or think similar ways, no matter how successful or how poor they are.
yeah,
But absolutely, I appreciate you coming on the show.
thank you. I appreciate you for letting me on the show.
All right, no problem.